All right, let's get right into this. We're not talking about the favorite child or even the problem child today. Nope. We're talking about the one who was just kinda there, the overlooked child. And what's fascinating is that psychology is showing us this experience doesn't just create wounds, it actually forges a very rare and specific kind of power. So, does this sound familiar to you? Maybe you were the one always praised for being the easy child, the one who never made a fuss. And yeah, on the surface, that sounds like a compliment, right? But what it often really meant was that your inner world, what you actually needed, went completely unseen. And if that's you, well, you didn't just get through it. You adapted in ways most people will never, ever have to. So often this whole experience is just framed as a sad story of neglect. And look, there's definitely pain there, for sure. But the psychological reality is something else entirely. It's actually the origin story of a unique mental wiring, a set of strengths that were born in that silence. So let's break down exactly what they are. So, what's the very first of these rare strengths? Well, it's a powerful psychological concept. It's called stress inoculation. And I know, the name sounds super clinical, but what it's really describing is a profound adaptation that happens when you're under intense early pressure. Basically, what this means is that while other people are panicking during a crisis, you find this weird sense of steady calm. It's not because you're cold or emotionless, oh, not at all. It's because your brain has already been through bigger storms, usually all by yourself. Your nervous system got its vaccination against pressure a long, long time ago, which makes you the steady hand when everything starts to fall apart. Okay, the second strength builds directly from this. And it's something that can feel like both a superpower and a heavy weight at the same time. Extreme self-sufficiency. This is what happens when you learn, deep down in your bones, that you have to be your own rescue mission. So look, this isn't just about being independent. This is a deeply ingrained, almost automatic problem-solving skill. As an adult, it means you're often the most capable person in any room because you learn to trust yourself first and foremost. You are quite literally trained to be your own guide, your own support system. Third up is a skill that probably started as a defense mechanism, but over time it evolved into something kind of like a superpower, and that is a hyper-awareness of social signals. See, when you're the overlooked one, you learn to stop listening to just the words people are saying, and you start watching everything else. What this looks like in real life is you don't just hear words, you feel the tone behind them. You catch the micro expressions that flash across someone's face. You can sense when somebody's pulling away or not being totally honest long before anyone else does. Your gut isn't just guessing, it's running on a lifetime's worth of data and pattern recognition. It's almost always right. Our fourth strength is all about where you find your sense of value, and it leads to this profound kind of freedom. It's called an internal locus of control. This is the power to be your own source of approval, your own judge of what you're worth. I mean, think about it. Since you weren't raised with applause, you had to figure out how to define your own value. Your sense of self doesn't ride on whether someone else claps for you. This makes you incredibly difficult to manipulate with praise or with criticism. And that gives you a type of freedom that people who are constantly chasing approval will just never know. Next up, number 5. This one isn't loud or flashy, but it is absolutely unbreakable. We're talking about silent emotional endurance. And let's be clear, this is not about ignoring pain. It's about a deep, quiet persistence that comes from knowing, truly knowing, that you can weather any storm that comes your way. This is that quiet ability to adapt and just rebuild in silence. When things go wrong, and they always do, you don't shatter. There's this steady resolve deep inside you that just lets you keep moving forward, long after others would have given up. Your endurance isn't loud, it's deep. And that brings us to our final and maybe the most complex strength. It's a really delicate and powerful balance called guarded empathy. This is that rare mix of being able to feel things for other people incredibly deeply, while also knowing exactly how to protect your own heart. Because you know exactly what it feels like to be invisible, your capacity for empathy is just immense. You get pain on a level most people don't. But you also learned that you have to manage that. You have to protect your own heart to stay safe. It means you can be an incredibly safe person for others to be around without completely losing yourself in their pain. This quote, "This really is the heart of this entire wiring, isn't it? Your development was kind of inverted. You had to build the armor first. You had to learn strength,
You had to learn responsibility, because that's what survival called for. The softness, that had to come later, if it came at all.
So if any of this, any of it at all, resonated with you, stop seeing your history as a deficit. It wasn't. It was a training ground. It forged this rare and incredibly resilient set of tools inside of you. So the only question left is the one you see here. Now that you recognize this power, what are you going to build with it?